the veganism frown in the 21st century. Opinion article by Amaru. Being vegan is becoming more and more popular since they say that by becoming vegan, we will be healthier. That his people having athletes or sportsmen without knowing this think that they will have better performance being vegan. It is also said that being vegan helps to have a better planet, but we will see that in this article. I, as a student of the obstetrics career, they tell you this, since even being vegans, you lower your defense and vitamins to a minimum as essential acids, which is why there might be an absence of menstruation in women. Since the body, it shows you that you cannot cannot have offspring while you are in that situation. I will talk about how it affects the health field, since we will know that we don't health we can know the attaining. Unfortunately, a person cannot last more than 3 years being vegan because the consequences will reach them and the body begins to take its toll. This is called malnutrition. For example, vitamin V 11, 12, V6, V3, and V2. These are the ones that might be missing, as well as omega 3, which is essential for the functioning of our brain. Iron is one of the main causes of anemia diet. In diet, vegan does not find hemorrhaging iron. This type of iron is what makes us feel energetic, as well as produce hormones like dopamine that makes us feel happy. Here you can see a study that was carried out on iron, which have shown that the lack of iron makes it dumber. On the other hand, plants spend more water per calorie, since most of these vegetables need more recourse per calorie than grass-fed meat. I would like to talk to you about many more things, but this will be the main veganism fraud. In conclusion, veganism is completely insustainable for the environment, animals, plants, and people. But for health, is it even worse? And we should always start by being well ourselves before wanting to help others. And two article pneumonia and how it affects pediatric patients. As we will know, pneumonia is one of the main health problems, which is among the five most frequent causes of death in minors, and now with the pandemic that we experienced recently. The case increased much more than before. It is because of therefore we must put a lot of emphasis on the diagnosis and treatment of pneumonia. Size in Cusco more than 50 percentages 50 of deaths were in children in their 5 years of age. To begin with We must know its etiology, that is, the disease that presents pneumonia. For example, it could be due to coronavirus size and it affected the whole world and several people were left with sequelae, lung lesions, as well as tobacco smoking. It damages, weakens the lungs, and not only the one who smokes, but also the people around them. All this happens in a similar way in children under 21st die to 90 days of age, since their immune system is not developed or per- purpose. The baby was born prematurely, and that leads to low birth weight. So they would be the perfect target for any disease such as pneumonia. Um, every 3 9 seconds, and child dies from pneumonia, and almost all of those deaths are preventable. UNICEF, the infection process occurs through coughing, sneezing, or even sharing personal utensils. Once we are infected, the incubation period will begin, which is different for each type of germ that causes the infection. This period can range for 20 hours to 6 days of incubation. And being more specific, at the Antonio Lorena Hospital in 2020 during the pandemic, there were 6 cases of pneumonia in children under uh, 12 years of age, and more than 50 were infants. Two of them were from the Santiago district, one from San Sebastian and another from Sicuani. The latter died after 24 hours. The hospital is no longer in a condition to care for much longer. The doctors do what they can for the patients. Variants, but sometimes there are not given the facilities. They have impediments such as infrastructure, medical supplies, medical equipment, etc. In conclusion, pneumonia is an infection that occurs in various ways. This can be prevented with due care. Therefore, more attention should be paid to pediatric parents, who, as we have seen, are the most affected. So their care must be key and efficient. And Article 3. Leader I admire. Paulina Benito Cadeu de Fiesel, known as Madame Fiesel. Madame Fiesel studied theory and practice of childbirth. Career, which I study obstetrics. A little about the history of Madame Fiesel. This wonderful woman was born in 1792 in France and studied some things related to obstetrics, exactly to be a midwife. Once she finished studying in France, she decided to come to Peru and qualify as an obstetrix, emphasizing that she was the one who found, so to speak, this career in Peru. That is, she started the first birthing school. She did this thanks to the fact that several people in the country become interest in motherhood. She in turn carried and helped for women in their bills, and it is like that she began to have them theoretical class as well as practical ones. Thus beginning in Lima his new journey. I want to emphasize that I admire this woman for the following qualities: his empathy for his desire to teach. That despite many things being present to her, she kept going. Be very creative, have a will to teach, have a great charisma with all people. Also have initiative to make obstetrics position itself in a good place, to know how to organize your time well and organize your time well and achieve many things when you came to the country. Leadership skills to develop one organization. I say this because sometimes I can't organize myself very well, even though I could know I should, but I don't. For example, sometimes as I say that I can't to some things because I don't have time, but actually I have time. It's just a matter of getting organized. Um, uh, Two, communication. This is very important to be a great leader like Madame Frizzle, but there are times when I cannot communicate what I really want to say. I get nervous and I get stuck with words. That is why in style have to work more on communication. 3. Responsibility. I do have this ability. What I don't have is the responsibility of doing it on time. Say sometimes I have work and I leave it in for the last minute, but I do complete. 4. Vision. I do have the initiative, I have good ideas, but what I lack in a bit of vision. That is, I can know how I want to be, but the problem is not knowing how the achieve what I want. So to speak, no knowing that what is it is the plan that I will follow.